Hey YouTube, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Roman, and yes, we are back with another For the Culture news report where I give my commentary on everything I find interesting in celebrity news. So without further ado, let's get into it. So the R. Kelly trial. So it's been going on now for about 2 weeks, and as the trial continues to just go, we find out so much more. And so we recently have just now found out that there is a male accuser. And so the male accuser is accusing R. Kelly of sexually abusing him while he was a high school student in pursuit of his own career. Said that R. Kelly was going to promise him like superstar status, promise him a record deal and the like. And of course, you being probably a huge fan of R. Kelly at that time, you was psyched to be a part of this. And so I guess he bit off more than he chewed. So R. Kelly asked him, what would you be willing to do for music? And allegedly he said, I'll carry your bags, anything you need, I'll be willing to do. And so, of course, R. Kelly denied those claims, saying that he wasn't his bag handler. He wasn't doing anything like that. So then he goes on to say that R. Kelly performed oral sex on him despite him not being into it. R. Kelly told him to keep it between them two. He would go, check out R. Kelly, and I guess they would, do whatever. And in spite of him not getting his career launched, and then he recounted a time where he was in the studio and he snapped his fingers and some girls appeared and they gave him head. So now my take, a couple of things here. Do I believe the story? I believe there are stories like this in the industry. Hell yeah. Do I believe there's men out there who are rappers or producers or celebrities and they have, male concubines on the side as their play toys, their sex toys? Hell yeah, I believe that. Do I believe this story related to R. Kelly? I don't know. I feel like it's timely. I feel like all of a sudden we're building up a lot of evidence against R. Kelly to continue our case. So I'm not sure if I believe this accuser, but I do believe that there are stories in the industry where, people are promising you things and in turn you're giving them sexual favors. But I just find it very, very odd that all of a sudden now we have a male accuser. I never heard about this before, though I did speculate that, there's men in the industry that, do these kind of things. And now you have to be very careful because stuff like this also pinches the nerves of other celebrities who engage in these kinds of activities. So they would be likely to want to protect and, offer non-disclosure agreements and do as much as they can to silence those who they may be sexually assaulting. So you have to be very careful about what you say and how you say it. Even if you are telling the truth, you have to watch what you're saying because you don't know who you might be triggering to take a different course of action. Yeah, and that's really all I had to say about this because I saw it and I'm like, yeah, there's got to be more to that. We would have been heard about the male accuser in this story. So you drop down in the comments and let me know what you think. Do you really think that there's a there, or do you think there's a bag there? Yeah, let me know what you think. So after much fanfare, much hype, much publicity stunts, many publicity stunts, Lil Nas X, my title album, Montero, will be dropped on September 17th. He announced it after Drake announced his album coming this Friday on September 3rd. Now, in Lil Nas fashion, he can't do anything with the normal rollout. It always has to come with some sort of bang, some sort of something that's going to grab your attention, something that's going to be provocative and make, stimulate a conversation. So look at this cover album, the cover art that he released for his album. When I saw it, the first thing I thought about was Lil Nas X. How much do you want to play into this? I don't know if it's if it's I don't know where this is coming from, but I just wanted to know how much he's gonna play into this whole imagery that he's projecting out now. I'd be interested to see him as a regular guy, as he, I know this is his official first album, but I think, eventually he'll have to come down, be a regular gay guy. There's nothing, to many of us gay men, I've seen, he's not sharing nothing to me that's not new, So I guess the excitement is that he is a black gay man, and the world is just now seeing a lot of this stuff for the first time. And so he's riding that wave, but eventually that'll too be not new, and you'll need to go back to doing something else. I just want to see you, at least within this packaged album, give us something where the visual elements catch you, in your raw form, like you, the person, a t-shirt, some jeans. This is great because you're bringing out the culture, especially the LGBTQ community and their influence inside of hip hop. And so I get to see that, and I celebrate that. I'm excited, it makes me feel good. But at the same time, I don't want people to lose the fact that we are normal. We're, same regular individuals. All of these thoughts that we do have them. But while we have those thoughts, we do have regular human being thoughts. So congratulations on getting this far, and I do hope you do well with your debut album. You drop down in the comments and let me know, do you think this is a bit much, or do you think it's par for the course? It's what we pretty much expect from a Lil Nas and a Montero album. Now, in the name of disgusting, Trick Daddy recently sat down on Drink Champs with Nori and DJ Effin, and they were having a conversation, and drinks were flowing, and then they get to a point where Nori asked Trick Daddy,
say women are supposed to eat booty again. You saying women is eating the booty?
Yeah, women eat the booty.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
I don't know whether to make noise for that or not.
Yeah, I get 8 out.
Yeah, wait, what? What is shit, man?
I get 8 out. Hey, listen, man. Check this.
Now pause. Pause. Trick Daddy just literally said, yeah, I get 8 out. Now, that's not common. That's not, those words put together, that's not something you hear every day from a straight black man. I want you guys to start noticing the language and the words that people are using, and it's becoming unisex. It's becoming safe for not just gays and women, but for men too. And some people will call that, he's gay, he's a homo, but he's not. He's a black man, and he's saying he get 8 out. And so I'm loving how the veil is being lifted off of all of these things that have been stigmatized towards you gay or you're a woman, only you can use these words. So not only did he say that, but Noriega asked him, you don't have your legs in the air though. And Trick Daddy says, it depends.
All right, Trick, you don't have your legs in the air though.
It depends.
So, first of all, he's been very descriptive about what's happening here. It's interesting. Now, I do think that there's some there. I do think that Trick Daddy is getting his behind toss, his salad toss. I just don't think it's a woman doing it. I don't see that. And there are some women who will do some freaky things for a dollar bill. So it could be. But I do think that he's been touched by a male tongue before. That's just me. The words that he used, putting his legs in the air like that, most men, straight men, in my mind, and I could be wrong, but when they're getting their salad tossed, it probably started from them getting some head from the back. And as the woman was doing that, she went a little further. or he could have been laying on his back and she went down. But I don't think a guy intentionally throws his legs up in the air and says, eat it out. Don't get me wrong. You know, I'm learning more stuff about R. Kelly each day as this trial unfolds. And I do have thoughts about folks in the hip hop and entertainment industry. So the whole visual though of this man with his ass up getting ate is just disgusting. I see shitty mouth. I smell vinegar. I think about how much medical attention you'll need afterwards. There's not enough fucking money in the world. Like, there's some stuff that you just can't come back from. Yeah, I ate Trick Daddy's ass. Yeah, nah, he would have to sign a non-disclosure agreement. He would have to sign that shit. That's disgusting, and those are things that you could have kept to yourself. So then it makes you think, like, is this a stunt? Are they pulling this just so he can go viral? Because he's viral now and everyone's talking about it, you know? So now the baby. Remember when you were on the stage a couple of weeks ago and you said, into all those dudes sucking dick in the park? Are we mentioning the guys who getting their ass ate too? Or is that okay? I just want to know. Because again, the guys getting their dick sucked in the park can also get their dick sucked in the park by a woman. And so now clearly the guys getting their ass ate, it ain't just by men, it's women too, allegedly. So do you want them to put their lighters up or should they put their lighters down? I'm curious. And you all drop down in the comments and let me know what you think about Trick Daddy getting his salad tossed. And out of all the things this old man could be talking about his sexual appetite, yo, nasty, hairy, stanky, crumbly booty. Ugh, no thank you. Disgusting. So briefly, I want to give a shout out to H.E.R. She has been casted as Squeak in The Color Purple. It is being readapted for today's generation. If you don't know, Color Purple was a huge phenomenon. It was a timely piece. It was Alice Walker's acclaimed piece, and it was adapted by Steven Spielberg in 1985. Oprah played Sophie and Whoopi Goldberg played Celie, and they both went on to win numerous awards and become very, very famous in their careers. And so they have now decided to adapt this movie for today's generation. Oprah has signed on as being a producer, and Spielberg has signed on also to be a producer. It's interesting. Harpo has been casted, not confirmed, but most outlets have said and stated that Corey Hawkins has been casted as being the lead to play Harpo. So I'm really, really excited about this. I'm loving this energy of re-energizing these black movies. I love the fact Jennifer Hudson redid Aretha Franklin, and I'm loving the fact that Color Purple is coming back around. A movie I would love to see remade would be Oz, The Wizard of Oz. I would love to see that made in this modern time, and some of the more relevant people play and cast in some of those roles. That would be a huge blockbuster hit. I would love to see some of Spike Lee's movies do the right thing. I would love to see Wood Part 3. I would love to see, oh gosh, there's so many movies. I would love to see Poetic Justice. But I would love to see Janet Jackson in that movie. Like, I don't want her out of it. She brought the grace to that film. I would love to see that. I keep saying I would love to see a Set It Off too. Let me see. But there are so many black films that I want to see remade for today's generation, because there were so many timely pieces in them and they're still so very relevant. So shout out to her, and I hope you get all the acclimates you deserve from this project. And I will be staying tuned to see what the due date for this project will be. So speaking of black movies and black films and black producers and black creativity and black energy, Nia DaCosta Candyman was the first film this weekend that's been produced by a female director to open at number 1. The other films to do so, they've opened at number 2, but those by black women was Ava DuVernay's Selma and A Wrinkle in Time, and Gina Prince Blythewood Love and Basketball. They had number 2 opening weekends. And so congratulations to Nia for her remake of Candyman and for it being a number 1 hit. So the projection for this film was 15 million. She blew it out. She had about 22.3 million and counting in her first weekend. So kudos to you and congratulations. I have yet to check out the film, but it's now something I want to check out just for the mere fact that she had this much support. And so in breaking down the support, a lot of people have said that the appeal of the movie was very diverse, which pushed it to becoming the number 1 film for the weekend, and by a black female director. Just in numbers alone, Universal Studios audience survey said that 37% of the audience was black, 30% was white, 22% was Latinos, and 5% was Asians. And so that spread, that entire rollout of diversity helped attribute to those numbers over the weekend. And not to mention the pandemic and us all being, so locked up and wanting to go out and see things and be with our friends and family. I'm sure that also attributed to those numbers. So kudos to you and shout out to that, that black creativity, the black power, and I wish you much more success. So popular social media influencer Miss Mercedes, whose original name is Janae Gagnier, she was found dead in her own apartment in what a lot of people, police officers and detectives, are calling a murder-suicide. So let's get more into this. So Miss Mercedes was very popular on Instagram, and she had over 2.3 million followers just on Instagram and across all of her social media platforms. Not only just for her looks, but she did a lot of appearances with a lot of different celebrities, and she was well known in the industry. I guess apparently over the weekend she had been missing phone calls, and her family became extremely concerned and worried about what was going on with her and her father. And new details have now emerged that her father went over to the place, and after not hearing from her and no one answering the door, he kicked the door down. And when he kicked the door down, he found his daughter laying at the bottom of the stairs, and it was the worst sight that any parent, he said, could go through. And him and his girlfriend continued to go throughout the house, and when they got upstairs, they found her killer upstairs with Kevin Accorto upstairs with a knife in his neck. They said he was twitching, he was like shaking all over the place. And they said, this what really got me the most was that they looked all around the room and they noticed that there was like pen marks and confessions that he had outlined in pens and lipstick on the walls and stuff, confessing his love for her, and love notes and apologies and stuff like that. And the saddest thing is that the father just recounted his many times saying to his daughter, Janae, you have all these followers, some probably because they love you, some because they like your look, some more crazy, and some obsessed. And unfortunately, she lost her life to one of her crazy followers. And there's still more details to come. There's still more things about the story that we don't know. And so her family does believe that Accorto was just a crazy follower, someone who stalked her. And so I'm going to stay tuned to this story. They don't know how he found her, and they don't know how all of this happened. And some of the stuff that I want to say to some people who are covering the story is, please be mindful when there's like stuff like this that's still uncovering. This literally just happened this past weekend. There were so many people putting out stories that she died from HIV, she died from COVID, that this is what she gets. This is what happens when you go on social media and flaunt yourself. No, it's not. Everyone is entitled to sharing what they want about themselves on social media and in the comforts of themselves, and knowing that someone isn't gonna kill them. Now, you should always be mindful, and you should always watch. You should definitely be watching who's in your surroundings, But you shouldn't have to limit yourself because people, you know, because of what someone else is. That's why we have police, and that's why we have, you know, weapons that protect you from that kind of stuff. So no, you know, we have to be very careful on saying that kind of stuff, because there's many other people out here who are far more famous, flaunt far more shit, and so you wouldn't want to wish this on them because of their success and their careers. No, I don't. And also the whole she had HIV and COVID. Why would you want to put an illness on her or put any kind of sickness on her that hasn't been confirmed? Again, her family has to deal with these things. You know, we're just saying and reporting stuff. I'm gonna go and get in my bed after this. Her family still has to read and go through this stuff. So be very fucking mindful about that stuff. I'm gonna stay tuned to this. I'm probably gonna do a crime story about this. Investigators are still trying to figure out, how did he get into her apartment? How did he contact her? I'm sure right now they're probably going through all of the either Facebook messages, Instagram messages, Cash Apps, or, you know, text messages, any of those kinds of things, just to figure out and piece the story together. So there's definitely going to be more details to come, and I will stick to this story because I am very, very interested. And again, please don't say stuff you don't know for salacious, news biting topics just to, you know, clickbait. You know, it'll be a time and a place where we'll get all the information we need. Just cover the stuff you do know and give your opinion, you know. And for me, one, I feel like the guy absolutely was a fucking crazy fan. He was a stalker. It reminded me of Selena and her fan club president who took her out. If I can't have you, no one else can have you kind of thing. So that's what I when I saw this, I got. And, you know, at her level, I do think she should have had a little bit, some more security, or either some level of notification to the family when I'm missing in action. Even you know, I live in a city where I have no family. And, you know, I have certain family members and friends, if they don't hear from me, you know, some within, you know, 24 to 48 hours, or, you know, they already know that I have my location on my second phone. And my second phone is like primarily my safe device. And so if you see that second phone traveling, you know to ping me and give me a call. So I do think people need to consider, you know, figuring out ways that you can activate a notification to family that, hey, something isn't right. And still, I'll stay tuned. You let me know what you think about this story. And until next time, deuces.